Hi, here we have another question from Iranian Mathematical Olympiad round number 1, year 1997. The question says n is equal to 2 power 1375 times q, and q is an odd number. Find the largest value of k such that 2 power k divides 1 plus 9 plus 9 power 2 till 9 power 4n minus 1. First round of Iranian Mathematical Olympiad is usually consists of multiple choice questions. You get 30 questions for 3 hours. Each question is on average 6 minutes. This question was among the moderate level of difficulties. Maybe you spend 5 to 10 minutes, try to solve this exercise, and then come back and see the solution. In the actual question, it was says that suppose 1375 is the largest integer that 2 power 1375 divides the natural number n. And then find the power k such that 2 power k divides a, which is a is given. Of course, in the thumbnail, I put n is equal to this one multiply a q number, which is equivalent to this statement. And these are the options that we have. All right, let us look at the solution. 2 power 1375 divides n. That means n can be written as 2 power 1375 times q, because it says this is the maximum power, so the q will become an odd number. This is what we know. All right, let us calculate this geometrical series. We know that if you have a geometrical series, you have to take the last term, power n plus 1. So here will become 4n minus 1 plus 1, which becomes 4n minus 1 divided by the expansion rate minus 1. So expansion rate is 9. So 9 minus 1 comes here. So this series is equivalent to this one. Okay. And the question that we have to answer is to find the maximum value of k such that 2 power k divides this number. 9 power n is 2 power 1375, and then we have a 4 here, so it becomes 2 power 1377 multiply q. Q is an odd number, minus 1 divided by 9 minus 1 is 8. So we have this one. We have to find the maximum value of k. All right, so let us first decompose this term. 9 power 2 power 1377 q minus 1. We know that if you have a2 minus 1, this can be written as a minus 1 times a plus 1. So here we have something power 2 because we have 2 power some number. So we can take one of these two out basically, and this will be a2 minus 1, which will be a minus 1 times a plus 1. So this number becomes equal to 9 power 2 power 1376 times q minus 1 times this one plus 1. All right. Obviously, this term, 2 divides this term because this is odd, this is odd. So 2 divides this term. But we can easily show that only 2 divides this number. 4 does not divide this number. Let's show this. What we can do is to take the number modulo 4. And 9 modulo 4 is 1. So this power will come totally equal to 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we know that this term is only divisible by 2, but not divisible by 4. So the maximum power of 2 that divides this number is 2 power 1. This is basically 4s plus 2. That means the maximum power of 2 that divides this number is 1, 2 power 1. Okay, so now we are going to continue and decompose this term. Again, we can write it as 9 power 2 power 1375 q minus 1 multiply 9 power 2 power 1375 times q plus 1. And again, we know that 2 divides this and 4 will not divide this. So the maximum power of 2 will be 2 power 1. If we keep decomposing this number, eventually what we conclude is that this number will be equal to 9 power q minus 1 times 9 power q plus 1 times 9 power 2 power 1 q plus 1 and so on. And 2 divides each of them. So basically here we have 1376 and this is power 0, 2 power 0. So it becomes totally 1377. So this part, we know that 2 power 1377 will divide this number. We have to find what power of 2 divides 9 power q minus 1. Okay, so we know that 9 power q minus 1 modulo 8 is 0 because 9 modulo 8 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So 8 divide this number. But we know that q here is an odd number. So I can write q as 2a plus 1. And I show that if I take this number modulo 16, this will not become 0. So 9 power 2 is 81. Power a multiply 9. 81 modulo 16 is 1. So this totally becomes 1 times 9 is 9 minus 1 is 8. So this number modulo 16 is 8. And we know that this number modulo 8 is 0. Therefore, the maximum power of 2 that divides this number is 2 power 3. It's basically 8. Okay, so we know that for this number, maximum power of 2 that divides this number here is 2 power 3 and here is 2 power 1377. Therefore, the k value that we have here, because we also divided by 8, so this one with this disappears. So this one, k would be 1377. Therefore, the correct answer would be option D. Let's see what we have learned through this exercise. Obviously, you should be able to calculate the geometrical series if you have a plus a times r plus a times r2 till a times r power n. This is equal to a multiply r power n plus 1 minus 1 divided by r minus 1. R should not be equal to 1. Second point is to be able to calculate and reduce a number modulo another number. This is very important. Be familiar with standard algebraic identities and be able to decompose algebraic expression into simpler components. Like we said, a2 minus 1 is equal to a minus 1 times a plus 1. Know how to determine the highest power of a number that divides another number. So for example, in this case, we said, first we calculated the number modulo, for example, 8, and we showed that that is 0. This means 8 divides that number. But then we showed that if we calculate the number modulo 16, this will not become 0. That means 16 will not divide that number, but 8 will divide that number. Therefore, 2 power 3 is the highest number that would divide that number. Alright, so this is end of the video. I hope that you learned something new. See you next time. Bye.